Previously on Ballz.
Bollockz it is, and that's the name of this show. That's what we talk about: football, and some more football. Although we do talk about other things. We're going to go to the sporting odds guy, aren't we?
Top odds.
Top odds
Yeah.
is this. It's a collection of betting sites. My big thing, having come from 25 years in British sports journalism, is how we bet on sport, and I think we're trying to get.
We're going to get Brandon on.
We've got Brandon on today.
Yeah, Brandon again.
Brandon is talking to us. I'm going to try and get their website. It's www.
I'll get it up for you in front now. Oh, you got your
you
own.
got that one.
Right.
I see. The great thing here, that modern technology is such that I can see everything that Darren's got up on his screen.
www.tokodds.com.
That's right. So if you guys at home can go to www.tokodds.com, you'll see different ways of betting and different sports to bet on, all compiled, 6 or 7 different companies, I think, or no more, 12, 13 companies, looking at how would you bet on these different things. The Lions test, obviously. Christ, what a game that was, Darren. I mean, I've done a couple of Lions tours, and we know how much fun it is. But we're going to talk about Lions, the second test. I know it's not football, but it's bloody interesting. And then we've got the Under-20 World Cup we're going to talk about as well, where the African side's struggling. Although Nigeria did pick up a win yesterday, Ghana and Egypt not coming out of it so well in those early stages. We've also, of course, we've got Spain and Italy tonight. The Spain, the world champions, gave Italy a right tonking in the Euro Championship final. Spain have won 3 tournaments in a row on the world stage, 2 and a World Cup. They've got Italy tonight. What are the odds? That's what we're all talking about.
We're going to get him on the line now. Just a lot of tweets that have come through. Maybe you just want to acknowledge some of those.
The chat with Stuart Baxter. I can't say enough about my relationship with Stuart when he first got here was dodgy, because we all picked up on certain things and we thought he came here and he did Bafana and he didn't make it. Now look at this. He talks to us about how he's going to take football on at Kaiser Chiefs, how he's going to put his final line to me, Stuart Baxter's final line: I'm going to put as much effort into developing the Kaiser Chiefs Academy and the style of play as I do put energy into the senior side. I love that quote. And we've got people coming up to me and saying, I've just got them here, Stuart Baxter thank you for chatting with Stuart Baxter. He's such an organised man, a dreamer. Just love listening to him. Now I'm camping for Roger Desar. That's I am Tooks, at iTokela on Twitter. And I'm just kind of going through, I've got all my things up here, looking at, someone said Baxter was a disaster at Bafana and now with Kaiser Chiefs a success. Well, Stuart would tell you that's because he didn't really get the chance at Bafana that he needed, and he wanted to put all these things in place 10 years ago, and that's very, very important. Someone asking...
that was from Koena Ngwepe,
yes,
to refer to what happened. Baxter was a disaster at Bafana, now with KC.
That's right, Stuart. Urco Sports, at Urco Sports, when I put out that Stuart Baxter said there's a South African way of playing football, he said he knows this because Stuart Baxter has just won the double, which isn't a bad qualification. Petolo Patleswana, at Jibu_ZA, says if this Kaiser Chiefs plan comes together, it may revolutionise South African football. And that's the point. That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to revolutionise the way we look at football, to try and bring us up to date with the kind of academies that you get at Bayern Munich, where they've got a whole future mapped out, a way of playing, a way of bringing players on with sports psychologists and dietitians. But now... Brandon
Zogby, how's it going? Welcome back to the show. It's Neal Collins here. We've been talking a lot of football over the last hour, including Bafana and development, and we refer to the under-20s as well. We're on the MTN Top Odds website again, and if you are watching and listening to us, you'll be able to see us navigate through your very, very easy website to go through. Tokodds.com is where you'll find it. There's also a button on our website where you can actually just click on that. Takes you straight through to the homepage. And then down the left, any kind of sport that you want to get involved with in terms of betting, then that's the site to go to, because Top Odds aggregates some of your top bookmakers and what they're offering on the various events. And there's so much happening this weekend, Brandon.
Yes, there is. I mean, we've got some golf, the AT&T Championship, Super 15's back. Not a big fan of the international break in between, but yeah.
Well, a lot more activity on Super Rugby than the internationals, are there?
Oh yes, the internationals actually come to an end. It's only the Lions tour this weekend, and we're back to Super 15. So
yeah,
all the big guns back in the sides. yeah, we'll see how that goes. But as a punter, you don't really like that break in the consistency of a season.
Yeah, and and we're going to talk about some of those today as we go through your tokodds.com website. I see that you guys are showcasing the under-20 World Championships, the Under-20 World Cup, and I see you've also got the Confed Cup betting as well. But I'm just going to click on that because, Neal, you were talking a little earlier on about how badly the African sides are going, and maybe this is somewhere where maybe we can guide people as to which way they might want to go. Particularly South Korea against Nigeria. Now, normally I think a lot of people around this part of the world would probably go favour Nigeria in a game like that, but the way they've been playing, probably not anymore.
That's right, Brandon. I was just going through. Someone said to me this morning, Nigeria are doing well. I mean, Nigeria did manage to beat Cuba yesterday. So they're on 3 points in Group B. They're third in the table. The other two African sides that qualified, of course, Bafana didn't qualify. We've got Ghana with 2 games, no points in Group A, but they have got Spain, France and the USA, and we know what USA pumps into football at a young level. And then we've got poor old Egypt. Egypt in Group E have no points in a group which includes Iraq, Chile and the very average England. So I'm very, very worried about African football. I'm looking at your odds and I'm thinking, well, obviously Spain in every tournament. They've just won the European under-21s, which England left pointless. And we're now looking at some very interesting games. South Korea and Nigeria, for instance. Who's going to win that, for instance?
Well, first of all, I see you still write Nigeria up as favourites there. Well, anyway, betting, is that Betting World? And
are we in the Nigeria game?
Yeah, we're in the Nigeria-South Korea game right now.
Yeah, I don't know if people, associate the Nigerian national team, with regards to their youth systems and their youth side, but I wouldn't expect, Nigeria to win that. Actually, I think South Korea have quite a good side. Those Asian teams, they breed them young, eh? I mean, 14-year-old golfers and, 18-year-old players in the under-20 side.
South Korea, Brandon, they pump unbelievable millions in, not just into football, we know that, but into their golf as well. And I think that what I don't want to see exposed here is that African football isn't doing enough for their under-20s, but I do get that feeling. You've got Korea versus Nigeria. I'm just looking at the betting on that now. And Nigeria, having won one and lost one, desperately need to win it to get through in the group. So we'll see what comes out of that one.
Yeah, I mean, you can get South Korea 2-1 on World Sports Betting, and Betting World are offering 37-20, which is slightly less. But Nigeria written up at 12-10 from World Sports Betting and 14-10 from Betting World.
Yeah, so if you have a look at that market, basically what Betting World are saying is that they fancy South Korea to pull one over the Nigerians there. You can get better odds with Betting World in terms of Nigeria. So if you're an African supporter and fancy having a bet, Betting World would be the bookie to take that bet with. Again, if you favour South Korea,
sorry, Brad, I just want to jump in there. Betting World seemed to, the way I'm looking at it, unless it's changed, on your top odds side, it seems that Betting World have actually also written Nigeria up as favourites for that game.
No. What they've done is they've written Nigeria up at 14-10. They're favourites for the game, but in the odds comparison in terms of the two bookies.
Yeah, all right.
Betting World are saying that they'll give you more value if you want to back Nigeria because they tend to fancy South Korea in this fixture.
All right, so that's good that you clarify that if people want to compare apples with oranges, that's basically what they're saying there.
Can I slip one in? It's not football.
Yes.
Tonight at the Oval, sold out T20 game of cricket.
Hold on, let's get there.
Let's get there.
You get they offer cricket. That as well.
Yours is coming out different to mine anyway. Your screen's much better than mine. The point being that a certain man called Kevin Peterson, on the day that England went out of the ICC Champions Trophy, they choked against India in the final. A man called Kevin Peterson of this parish got 177 for Surrey at the Oval, smacking the ball over, I think 10 sixes in his innings.
It's his birthday today as well, by the way.
It's his birthday. This is what I'm going to say. My godson, Alex Hales, opens the batting for England. He's not on a good run of form. I think he got 30 the other night, which was quite nice to see. But I'm looking at England coming back and winning the second T20. I know it's pretty meaningless in terms of everything except world rankings. But I was just going to have a quick look at your odds. I'm clicking on them now.
I've got them up here.
And I'm now looking on the other screen. England to win the toss is even there. I love
Yeah.
that.
Well, Brandon, just take us through some of the. I mean, Neal's brought this one up, and there are a lot of people that like to get involved here. So, if you reckon Kevin Peterson's going to have a good birthday today, you can bet on something like a top England batsman, if you like.
Yes, and I don't think he's too much of a bad bet. I mean, he's got a point to prove, definitely. He missed the Champions Trophy. A guy like Kevin, big personality, can only lift your side. And I would get on England tonight. I think that they're a sterling bet. They won't lose a game. They nearly chased down 200. I mean, that's a massive feat in any 2020. I think they'll be too strong for New Zealand tonight.
I see you offering 3-1 on Kevin Peterson being the best batsman. That's world sports betting again. So basically,
I would say that's fairly short. Yeah. I mean, he's a good player, but I mean, anyone can come out. Maybe Neal's godson, can do
Alex
it.
Hales, he's also 3-1.
He's also 3-1.
Yeah, mate, I bowled him in the nets for about 500 hours. And he's a great talent, but he's just having quite a bad run at the moment. He's been dropped by Nottinghamshire, but kept by England, which is a lesson for everyone, I think.
Maybe just having a look here, Dernbach at 200-1. You want to forget about that. Treadwell, obviously, still trying to figure out which end of a bat to hold. Butler at 7-1 might not be a bad choice, depending on how it goes. It's such a short span of time, so depending on how the top order goes. But if New Zealand get amongst the top order early, and you're on Butler at 7-1, then you've got a good shot because he seems to be pretty.
I was just going to say to you, to take, it depends where they bat. I mean, the batting lineup in 2020. I mean, like you say, if they don't get hold of the top order quickly, I mean, Butler might only come in with 5 overs to go. And difficult to make any kind of score from there.
All right.
But those are the kind of markets we're offering if you want to go to the win the match market, because I really do think England's a good bet tonight.
All right.
I think if you've got punters listening. I would take the 7-10 England.
All right. See, on your website again. Let's just it's our second week, so let's just clarify for people who might be following live with us on your website now. Looking at clicking on that game, I see that World Sports Betting, the only one writing up any odds to win. This is to win the toss. Sorry, let me go back again because I see 9-10 on both, which kind of makes sense. Right, yes. So England 7-10 and New Zealand 11-10. So that's what World Sports Betting. Are they the only ones that are offering betting on this game, or do the others sort of come in a little later on in the day?
No, the others will come a little later. I would check within half an hour. They should be on.
Cool.
Sometimes it's just a feed that we get from each respective bookie that might delay what's being shown, but they'll definitely be up. Maybe even throughout the course of the show.
All right, cool.
But I'll keep an eye on that.
All right, and that's the nice thing about the Top Odds website is that you can actually just go to one website, keep an eye on that one, and as the various bookies that are offering betting, as they come online, you're on the website, you can see what is being offered, and anyone that does join the fray as the day goes on. That's why this is your one-stop shop, so to speak. Just navigating through the Lions tour.
Rugby.
Let's get to that, and then we'll talk about Super 15 while we're on the rugby one as well. Lions tour, obviously the second test. There's you're offering 80-minute betting, Australia versus British and Irish Lions.
Yes.
Interested to see what's going to come up there.
What a game that was, though. The poor old Australia.
How did the punters do on that, by the way, on the first test?
You know what? I think the Lions were favourites to win that first test. Barring a Kirtley Beale slip, they might have been wrong. Australia were up for the match. I thought the Lions would give them a bit of a hiding, but maybe the fact that Quade Cooper's not in that side is a good thing.
Yeah.
They looked up for it, and from this weekend, I mean, anything can happen. I don't think the punters are going to get involved as they did last weekend.
Well, Lions are odds-on favourites to win the second, according to what's on offer here on your website. Just take us through that.
They are favourites to win it. But I think a lot of the punters get involved, in games that they think are going to be close. They'd be looking to take Australia plus again. If you were on the +4 last week, which only Betting World, offered up, then, you would have got the money, barring, even whether Kirtley Beale kicked the kick or not, your money was safe. At times it looked like the Lions were going to run away with it. But Australia just kept fighting back, and I don't think you can not be on the plus this weekend. I think Australia will just about win the match. if not come very, very, very close. So yeah, I would be taking the plus. I think it's 3.5. I'm just having a problem here with my connection.
Yeah, just to explain, that means that even if Australia lose by, it's 3.5. If Australia lose by 3 points, you still win the bet.
Still win the bet.
That's what a plus 3.5
That's
bet
correct.
means. And you can find this on the Top Odds
That's
rugby
correct,
site,
sir.
topadds.com. Go into rugby, have a look at the odds, click on it, and then you can put your bet on it. Even if Australia lose by up to 3 points, you still win the
get your
bet.
money.
If the Lions, and that's what it's going to be. I'm sure it's going to be tight. It was a great first test.
Just to also let folks know that you can go straight to whichever one is most attractive to you, because I see at the moment LM Bookmaker, World Sports Betting, and Betting World are the three that are offering odds. You can see there 9 to 10, Australia 4.5, plus 4.5. That's
Yeah,
what
now
they're offering.
Betting World have gone out again. They think the Lions are a bit stronger favourites than the rest of the bookies. So they're offering the 4.5. But obviously, if you're the punter, like Neal thought, the game will be close. You've got to get on Australia plus 4.5. I think they'll be within the 4 points, if not win the match.
And cover yourself. And by what I was saying, cover yourself, in other words, maybe if you want to split your outlay a little bit, it might be worth your while, because this is going to be a very tight series by the looks of things. It might be worth your while to not ignore the draw and maybe put something on the draw, because if the draw does come in, it basically covers and maybe give you a little bit extra on what you outlaid anyway. And the draw, they're offering it between 22 and 28 to 1. I think it's very generous considering how close this could be.
The draws are generally always in that range between 20 to 1 and 30 to 1. But, they happen. If you look at the Super 15 this year, the Brumbies have drawn 2 or 3 games. So, generally when Australian sides are involved, they're close. So, I think cover on the draw, but be with Australia, they're plus. They might just win it.
All right, that's what Brandon says. Let's go Super Rugby very quickly and just see the games coming up this weekend. All of them are listed there. You can see the various odds. I'm going to go to the Bulls Kings game just as an example for one.
Stop it.
Okay.
Because at the beginning of the year...
Stop it.
Can I just ask a quick question? Are you avoiding the Sharks Blues game?
Yeah.
Yes, I am, because I think we're in trouble.
It's a plum tie, that one.
Well, you know what? If I were you guys, I'd open that game because the spread's very interesting in that fixture. And they've lost their coach, and the Sharks are still favourites to win the match. You can get with LMB minus 6.5. Saying that the Sharks will win by 7 or more points, I think is a very bold statement by LM Bookmaker.
Yeah.
So I don't know how good you think your Sharks are, Darren.
I think they've just shortened it to 6.5 now. I see on your site.
6.5. LMB are offering that.
Yeah.
LM Bookmaker. So I don't know. I think the Blues maybe might hold them there at home. Hey, what do you think?
I think I'd take the Blues at 2 to 1. Versus the Sharks at 4 to 10. Honestly, I would. I just think it's just far too much, far too many injuries, and to suddenly throw Reese and Bashy into, trying to sort of what is basically like calling the slaughter of Durban, to have to work in that kind of environment. I just think that the Blues are going to see them as a vulnerable, sort of a soft target this week, and they're going to come out firing. So, as much as I love the Sharks, if I was putting my own hard-earned cash in there, I would go the Blues at 2 to 1.
It's a good bet.
It's a good bet.
I'm just looking at it. I can't believe it. Yeah. It's a very good bet.
I can't believe that they've opened the spread out at minus 6.5.
That bet there, that's the one I'm talking about.
It'll be closer than that.
LM Bookmaker, right. I'm going to phone them in a minute.
Yes.
Good. There we go. You don't have to. You can just click on
click on them. Sorry, I'm going to click on them
and take your bet.
What am I saying?
Just
click on them. And I will take that.
Just click on LM Bookmaker and...
I hope they're not listening to this because they'll whip that off. It's got to be a good bet.
Just quickly having a glance at all the games this weekend. The Cheetahs Stormers game is also a big one as well. All the games are listed here on the Top Odds website, so you can get involved in any of them through any of the bookmakers that are listed here. I'm just quickly have a look at how you guys are writing up the Stormers. The Kings game and
Kings and Bulls, you won't let it go. Come on, Kings.
Oh, let me just go back to Rugby Union here and then click on the actual game.
If the Kings get whopped by the Bulls, I'm going to fall over somewhere.
The Kings will get whopped by the Bulls.
I know they will, but it seems so unfair.
The Southern Kings have cost punters a lot of money this year.
I was going to ask you, what kind of bets were being taken
at
the beginning of the season, and are guys now a little bit scared to actually get involved there?
Definitely. I can tell you from experience, you'll follow them 1 week on the plus, and think that, gee, was the way they played the week before, they'll just about win the game, and then they go and get smashed by the Waratahs by 70 points.
Yeah.
They're very unpredictable. Here again, you can see in the spread.
See that spread, 20.5.
Betting World again being being a little bit cautious, offering it minus 19.5 the Bulls. Both LM Bookmaker and WSB World Sports Betting, they've gone 1 point extra, minus 20.5.
Yeah.
So, betting World respecting the Kings a bit more. But I think, at this late stage in the season, the Kings have had their run. I think the Bulls need to win, and they need to win well. So,
But
maybe
again,
the minus 19.5 with betting World's not such a bad bet.
But Brandon, this is why sports betting's so interesting. We've just had an enormously long break watching the Springboks play, Italy, Scotland, Samoa. Then we come back into this. What do we know about injury and form and how they trained in this break?
Yeah.
It does put, not the Bulls, Kings maybe so much, but particularly with the Sharks where they've lost a coach and everything's going on there. It's so difficult for the bookmakers to know exactly what's going on either side of this. I remember I used to try and help City Index, an old firm in Britain, during Lions tours and that, and speak to Ian Evans and all that. It became illegal to do that after a while. But to actually put these odds out and be accurate with them after a break like this is very, very difficult, and a great chance for the punters that know the inside and out of every club to try and get on it.
That's why I say, as a punter who's playing week in and week out, it's lovely to see your international teams play, but at the end of the day, it breaks that momentum into the season. The Bulls were coming in, they were starting to fire, and the back line was moving, forwards were smashing people, and now, 25% of their side go off to a box squad, and now they've got to come back and gel and beat the Kings by 21 points. It's not going to be easy.
Yeah, I don't know.
In a side like the Bulls where your stars are leaving, they don't have Pierce now.
Yep.
He's injured his bicep, so he's out. So, as a punter, you sit down and you say, maybe the Kings are value this week. Maybe they've been together a little bit longer. They didn't lose many players to the box squad.
I'd like to get involved with that
maybe
on
the plus minute.
a private with you there, Brandon, because I think you look at the Kings' form over the last few games that they've played. I know there's been a break, but it's almost like the honeymoon is now over and reality's starting to set in, and they're leaking more points in the latter part of the season. So I fancy the Bulls to win by them. I'll get involved in either LM Bookmaker or World Sports Betting, and I'll go the 20.5. I'll take that any day.
Betting against it.
I think the Bulls will put 30 plus past them.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, you need to take into account also the Bulls at Loftus. They're a different animal when they're there.
Yeah,
80,000 people in the Eastern Cape, Eastern Province watching the Kings. They also, they get up for those kind of games. So I think, I don't know if I'd come out on the radio and say that.
No,
don't. Wrong. But you never know. It's going to be a close one. You just don't want the Bulls to score 4 tries early on in the game and then take their foot off the pedal, which they're famous for doing. Go up 30 points, and then all of a sudden the Kings get 2 or 3 lucky tries, and the Bulls are happy with bonus points and just want to win the game. That's the danger of taking a big minus.
The one thing that'll count against that probably, if they were home and hosed and running away with the South African Conference, and there was no one else maybe lurking around, that might be the case. But the fact is that they've still got the Cheetahs lurking around there. And they don't want to stop, so they're going to want to put as many points on to make sure that if it does, for any reason, come down to points difference, they're not going to get bitten in the arse there. So,
do you guys? I've just opened the Stormers Cheetahs game. I don't know if you guys want to navigate there.
Yeah,
that's a fairly important game for the South African Conference. The Cheetahs, they really need to win. That's not going to be easy.
So this is the kind of game I'm talking about. More than the Bulls and the Kings, it's coming back from an international break. People have hurt their biceps, they've hurt their bollocks, they've hurt everything, and they come back off the international break, and you're trying to put up odds. I see the spread is 4.5, and that's a much tighter bet. So you can see it going down to the wire.
I don't know. Also, if the Stormers, nothing much to play for. So, if that Cheetahs backline gets going and they start moving the ball around, it could be a long day for the Stormers. But they do have a very good defense. You're sitting and you're saying to yourself here, maybe the Cheetahs are a little bit of value. I don't think I could take the Stormers at 5 to 10 to beat the Cheetahs. I think that's fairly short.
Yeah.
It can go either way. Sure. It's just such a massive game for the conference. If you're South African, you've got to be pulling for the Cheetahs to win.
I like the Cheetahs.
Try and get 2 sides up into those playoffs.
I like the Cheetahs just straight bet at 17 to 10 that have been offered by Betting World and World Sports Betting. And I'll tell you what, and maybe this is why listening to our interviews yesterday with Jean de Villiers and also Brian Abana, I think in both cases, instead of talking about how they want to finish the season, they're kind of making a point about how disappointed they are and how they've played in Super Rugby this year. So it's almost as though the Stormers have kind of resigned themselves to the fact that it's been a bad year for them. And that's where this international break almost kind of puts a full stop or a semicolon onto your season. And they come back going, right, well, let's try and finish the season. But there's nothing really to play for. And that was kind of the impression I got, that they're kind of looking at, okay, well, let's start getting ourselves ready for Currie Cup now and get things back on track. And that, if they got that kind of mindset, whereas the Cheetahs know they've got to win. They've got 4 points coming up for a bye as well. So this is key for them. 4 points here or 5 points here. And they're right in the mix.
Yeah, this is a massive game. I think the bet here is to take Cheetahs plus 4.5. I think the Stormers won't run away with the victory if they do win. If they do get up for it. I wouldn't be surprised if those Cheetahs come in the last minute and score a try to win the game. That's the kind of season they've been having. I mean, the season before this, they were the heartbreak side. A point here and a point there, and it could have been totally different for them. And this season they've put it right. So I think they know how to win the big games. I'd be on the plus 4.5. I think that's a great bet. And all three bookies, Lance Michael, World Sports Betting and Betting World, nothing to choose between the sides in this game. I mean, you can see it from the betting. I mean, they're all offering the -4, and I would be on the Cheetahs the plus 4.5. I think that's a great bet.
All right. Well, before we let you go, and all of this information, everything here is on the Top Odds website, tokodds.com, and you guys must also feel free, if maybe just from a punter's point of view, if they do want to try to, I read into what some of these guys say from the teams on our website. The interviews with Jean de Villiers and Brian Abanner's there as well. We also spoke to Adrian Strauss yesterday. So, maybe some people, it's like people picking horses sometimes. I remember my mom used to pick horses with colours. So when Bold Cherry came running in and winning, my old man used to get so irritated because he used to go into the form and his last 6 races and the weights and the draw and everything. And then my mom would go and get the cash because she picked Cherry as a colour. So, but if you're one of these guys that
9 times out of 10.
Yeah, absolutely. If you want to go really into form and also maybe try and read into what the guys are saying and what kind of attitude they got, and even for the Top Odds guys, if you guys want to actually lift those interviews and put them up on your website so people might want to listen to them, feel free.
Yeah, I think that's a very good idea. Yeah. Try and put the links on the front page, and guys can click on the interviews and maybe get a sense of what you said with John de Villiers and Brian Abanner not being up for it. So,
and Adrian Strauss. We spoke to Strauss as well about it after we spoke about his bollocks, and he was talking about it. You can maybe compare the kind of urgency between the one side and the other. We're not saying the Stormers don't care about it, but I'm just saying there seems to be a big urgency with the Cheetahs. So those are on our website at the moment, but feel free to actually embed those into your Top Odds site if you want to as well, sometime today or before the weekend.
Tokodds.com.
Just before I go, let me just draw you guys' attention to our front page. You'll see there's something called Bet in Play. Now, what this affords the punter is every live televised game. Our bookmakers, that being LM Bookmaker, Betting World, and WSB, they will put up odds in running every televised game. So, I mean, if you have a look on our front page at the moment, all the Under-20 World Cup games
I'm looking at that.
That will be played tonight and over the week, you can get live in-running betting, watch the game, and then make your opinion. So it's not like you have to tie yourself down, to an opinion before the match. As you'll see, Chiefs and Hurricanes are up there. All the Super 15 games will be up there. So the punter can literally leave that page open while he watches the matches and have available to him all the best prices in the country in running.
Okay, Spain, Italy's up there as well. Confed Cup, that semi-final. England, New Zealand to win. There's also in-running betting there for that T20 game.
Yeah, it's what you see in Britain. Yeah, they'll all be watching the cricket. Kevin will play a couple of shots and they'll all start getting on him. If he looks in form, if he doesn't, they all get off.
Normally, that's what happens when when I get on.
I'll
say, no, he's going huge. Put my bet on it as I'm putting the phone down, or as I've finished, he'll play a stupid shot and go out.
It does make the game much better to watch that way, I think.
Sorry, Brandon, you were saying?
You can actually pick up the trend in the game in terms of if Peterson is the next batsman coming in. You reckon England are in a little bit of trouble, you can get a better price on England that you would have got at the start of the match. And then Peterson comes off for you and you feel a whole lot better about yourself and being English. So, it's those kind of things that you look for in running. But I'll be with Neal tonight, and I think, if you guys want to close off and make England the best bet, call me tomorrow, and we'll see if that happened or not.
Absolutely.
Brandon, we're going to leave it there. A fascinating chat once again. Lots on offer for the weekend, and the betting and running we've had up on our screen as well. I see you can also get a widget. Get Top Odds on your mobile. You can SMS Top Odds to 31744. The information's on their website. You can get a widget as well. So if you want to find out anything there is to know about what's on offer this weekend, then all you have to do is go to tokodds.com. Otherwise, go to our website at ballz.co.za and click on the Top Odds button. It's right there on the right-hand side of our website, and it'll take you straight through to their homepage. See what's on offer. Next week, we're going to be talking Vodacom Durban July. So looking forward to that. Always a big event for the bookmakers, and of course a big event for you guys as well. So we'll be spending a lot of time on this show chatting about what's happening in Durban next week at the Vodacom Durban July. Thanks a lot, Brandon.
Thanks, Brandon.
Thanks a lot, guys. Thanks a lot.
Mate. Thanks for backing England tonight. Very good of you.
Cheers. Cheers,
I hope I'm right.
Cheers, bud. Bye-bye.
This is Ballz Visual Radio.